Hi, everybody. I'm Safety Coach Art Half Nelson, and welcome to the Safety Coach Art Half Nelson's podcast. Today, we're going to talk about passing information on during a violent critical incident and what will happen when the police arrive. So you need to pay attention, especially if you're in administration. Now, I'd like to welcome my special guest today, Officer Jake Myers.
The chief ordered me to be here.
Fantastic. I've also found out that not everyone's watching Coach Art's presentations, and that's making me sad. I would cry, but I had my tear ducts removed in 1978 due to a freak disco ball accident. I was staying alive then. I was living in Funky Town. It was a real disco inferno. Anyway, teachers at the elementary school level, this video is for you. Your younger students may not be able to understand what we're about to cover. Teachers in the middle school, I would recommend watching this first, and if you're comfortable with your students' maturity level, then show it to them. Teachers at the high school level, show this to your students and talk to them about it. But teachers in each grade level, I encourage you to discuss this with your students. And students, share this information with your parents. Isn't that right, Officer Myers?
I should tase you, but I just don't have time to do the paperwork.
Shocking! So why is it important to talk about sending out information this way? Because during a violent critical incident, teachers, your students will be looking to you for guidance. And administrators, guess what? Your staff's going to be looking to you for guidance. So you need to pay attention, or that's a lap. Remember, during the first few minutes of a violent critical incident, you are the first responders. Now, I know administrators and teachers, you might think this is a lot of pressure. Coach Art knows a little something about pressure. I was Betty White's stunt double for 3 seasons of the Golden Girls. By the way, Jake, thank you for being a friend.
I am not your friend.
Amazing. Now, I know it's hard to talk about this, but we need to. Remember, I don't want you scared. I want you prepared. So let's talk about sending out information. Now, the information process goes far beyond just the alert phase. You want to pass as much information on as possible at the start, during, and after the incident as well. How you will do that will be determined by the length of the incident, your training, and the location of that incident as well. It's not complicated, so don't make it out to be. Let me give you an example. You give the alert over the PA that there's an armed intruder inside the building. You call for a lockdown. Good job. You give as much description as you can about the intruder, such as their clothing, where the intruder is, the direction they're going, and if you see a weapon. That's a good start. During the event, you can still pass information on to your staff just the same. You can send a mass text, email, or even use the PA. You're advising your staff and students what to do, such as calling the lockdown. You're also sending information out, letting your staff know that the situation is still active, updates on possible locations of the intruder, and if the incident has been contained and that the police are there. Remember, not everyone could have heard that first alert. There's nothing wrong with doing it again to pass that information on. The goal is to send and receive information in real time. You're trying to save lives. Teachers and students, you play a vital role in this information process as well. Let's say you've locked down your room, you're barricaded, and now you're either preparing yourself to counter or evacuate the building when safe to do so. There's no problem with you using your cell phone. You know that thing you spend hours playing Candy Crush on? Calling 911 or texting 911 to let them know where the intruder is and where you are. Now this brings us up to our next topic. What to expect when the police arrive, like Officer Myers.
I'm glad these muffle your sound out.
Fantastic. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Things will be confusing, stressful, and terrifying. Now, due to the increase in violent critical incidents at schools, what I'm about to tell you, sadly, is common knowledge. For this scenario, let's say you've been put into lockdown because of a violent critical incident happening at your school. Your school resource officer will be taking action to end the violence and coordinating with other officers. But unfortunately, other factors could affect that. There could be more than one threat. The SRO could be on the other side of campus or incapacitated. That's why it's important for you to take action to protect yourself. Remember, it's okay to do that. If you're still not sure on what to do, watch some of my previous presentations. Now, when the police do arrive, they're going to do everything they can to end the violence. If they're not provided with a stimulus such as gunfire, they will continue to check the building and start first aid. But understand that can stop the very second a threat is identified. Once a violent critical incident has been contained, well, the communication process doesn't stop there. So you can't just get on the PA and say, all clear. It doesn't work like that. Here's why. Now, the police have the responsibility of getting everyone out of the building to the rally points or reunification site safely. This is going to take time. There are several obstacles the police have to overcome to get you out of the building. First, they want to ensure there are no other threats inside or outside the building. Then the police will make a secure and guarded pathway or safety corridor for students and staff to use so they can evacuate to the rally points and reunification area. and also so medics can treat and evacuate anyone injured. Then there's the issue of getting you out of the classroom. Remember, I don't want you to open the door just for anybody. Administrators, this is where you'll be working hand in hand with law enforcement if you can and if you're available. When the police start evacuating, they could ask you to call each classroom to let the teachers know that they're outside the door. Or they can ask you to send a mass text or an email letting teachers know that the police are outside. But we don't live in that perfect world, do we? Coach Art's credit rating can attest to that. You know, I shouldn't have invested all my money in vegan styrofoam. Now, the administration may not be available for a wide variety of reasons. So teachers and students, you might get a knock on the door with someone saying the police are outside. But before you open that door, it's okay to call or text 911 to make sure the police are actually outside your door. But then again, we don't live in a perfect world, do we? The police may just have to come in. Now, when you leave the classroom or leave the building, leave everything behind. Keep your hands visible. Listen to the officer's instructions because they will guide you on where you need to go. It is going to be confusing. It is going to be scary, and it's also going to take some time. From there, school and law enforcement will be working on reunification and conducting their proper investigations. Now listen, if you have any questions about this, reach out to your SRO or send an email to Officer Hessian at Blue Ridge or Green Meadow. You know, he kind of looks like a shorter, fatter Chris Hemsworth. But anyway, stay safe. And I also want to thank you for watching my presentation today, and thank you, Officer Jake Myers, for being here.
This is time in my life I will never get back.
Fantastic. It's come to my attention, not everyone's been watching their Coach Art safety videos. I told you what would happen.
Oh, the chief is definitely getting my therapy bill for that one.